Hello everyone, my name is Iyanna Tucker, and today I am your host for Iyanna From The Block. And how this segment came to life is because one day I was talking with my peers at Thomas Nelson, and we all have different podcasts, and they was like, Iyanna, I would love to have you on your own segment because you have a beautiful personality and you make people laugh. And I was like, okay, I guess. And they was like, how about you call it Iyanna on the Block, or From the Block, or On the Street? And I was like, I like that. I like that. And I was like, okay. So now here I am talking about anything that comes to my mind, using my voice to be heard. And with me today is Morgan Woodington. Hi, Morgan. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
So, Morgan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Morgan Woodington. I'm a student at Thomas Nelson. I'm a science major and a new member of PTK.
Woo woo! Yes, Morgan, I'm so glad you're a new member of PTK because myself is a part of PTK and I'm the secretary and maybe soon to be president. So now we are here today to discuss the Z generation's opinion on voting. And before this segment started, me and Morgan came up with a few questions to ask each other about voting. And then that will come to part that we will play random voting questions. So now I'll turn it over to Morgan.
All right, Iyanna, here's the first question. As a Gen Z college student, what makes voting important to you?
Well, first off, I think that what makes voting important to me for a G generation student is that we actually have the opportunity to get out and vote. And we have a say-so to make a change in the world today. It doesn't matter which choice that you make, just as long as you know that you did something to try to make a change in America. Because let's face it, when was America great? And when will it be great again? So I feel like as for us students, we need to actually take our chance to get out and vote. Don't be worried about if you're going to make the wrong decision because, hey, we all make mistakes. So if you made the wrong decision next time, just do a little bit better. But it's all good. So just please get out and vote. You can do early voting or the voting next on November 3rd. You know that date. Please be there. And just please make sure you're registered, but you should be registered by now. So I think voting is just really important to me, I guess, because now I have the actual chance to vote because, like, once you get 18, you can actually vote. And before this happened, like 2020 happened, or before years to come, people didn't have the opportunity to vote. So I feel like for me being old enough to vote feels like I have to do something with it. It's almost like, okay, 18, I'm legal now, but I can't do too many things yet, but at least I can vote. And thank you. So now, Morgan, I have a question for you. So why do you feel that other people should vote, in your perspective, rather than mine?
Okay, that's a great question. I think it's important for other people to vote because it allows everyday normal people to participate in politics and to try to make a change in the world by choosing a person that they think will make that change. Not everyone in the world has a chance to vote, like Iyanna was saying. But because we are a democracy in America, we can vote, and I think we should take advantage of it. In the past, there were women that were not able to vote, and I think now that women can vote, particularly, we should, because we fought for that right, and we should use it.
Amen to that. We fought for that right. Susie B. Anthony. I remember that in history class. So now, I think it's your turn to ask me a random question.
Okay. A random question. Do you think voters should do research to better understand the candidates before voting for them?
Of course. I think you always should research the candidate that best fits you. So say, like, if you feel like we need a change in the economics of the world or even with the racism in the world, or I think you should make a change for that. Basically, just research on the one that best fits you and feel like you will best fit America and you and your family. Like, just don't go there and vote and you don't actually know what is happening, because you could be that one person that votes for that one side that is not going to make a change for America, and you be like, oh man, I did vote for that person, didn't I? And it will be in the back of your mind like, I should have been better, had better knowledge of that individual. So, yeah. So now I think that brings that back to me. And this question is for you. Do you think the pandemic has changed people's decisions to vote? In other words, has it made it more difficult to vote?
I think it's definitely made it more difficult in certain aspects. I really do think that in general people are trying to make voting accessible to people, and they're trying to get the word out for people to go out and vote for a candidate. But at the same time, people are scared. There is a virus going around, and they want to feel that they're in a safe environment when they do go out to vote, especially elderly people. Since it's we're trying to get everyone in America to vote, you have to think these are young people like Iyanna and I, but there's also older people that are worried for their health and safety when they go out of the house. So I do think it's definitely kind of thrown a curveball and made it a little more difficult for people to make that decision to vote.
Yes, great answer to that question, Morgan. I really agree with that, because I feel like with this whole pandemic, everybody is really like afraid to go out, and then there's some people that just really don't care, and they're like, I'm going to get out this house. I don't care if it's going to vote, go to a parade, or I'm going to the store, but I'm getting out today. So I feel like really you have to really think about if they're elderly, or actually what generation are they from. So like, are they more immune to it or not? So you really have to think about, okay, so I'm going out today. Do I need to go to the poll, and do I need to bring my Clorox wipes? Or what do you need to bring to make sure you have set the extra safety precautions so you can be safe, and so you won't have to bring nothing back to your family or even you. So I think you did a wonderful job asking that question.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for the voting questions. And so now we're going to take a turn and, well, hey, Morgan, do you want to play a game of random questions?
Absolutely.
All right. And I think I'll be the first person to pull out this question here. Do you believe the decisions you make today will affect tomorrow or your future?
Yes, I do. I do think that they'll affect your future. Especially if they're decisions that may be detrimental to your health, or a choice to maybe drop out of college for a year, and then you end up staying out of college even longer. So I think you have to really, when you make decisions, you have to think, is this the right decision for me? Because another person can make the same decision and could have a completely different outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I definitely agree. Some people can go off from college and come back and jump right back into it and become more successful than others. And some people, they're like at this bridge and can't get their mind right, or like get back in the game to actually do what they have to do. So I really think it's just a matter of what people feel like they can do and choose to decide for their future.
Yes. And I mean, to add to that, with the decisions, there's also decisions that we make that aren't even really college related, that will affect our future. If you think about going more towards the financial side, if you start an IRA account today or some type of certificate and you add a little bit of money into it every day, you're making a decision that will benefit you in the future.
Yes, I definitely agree with that, because some people, well, for our age anyway, we will be like, I'm not putting no money nowhere right now. I need that money, especially during with this pandemic. You don't know which way you're going to turn. You don't know if you're going to have a job that day or out of a job that day. And that reminds me, when this pandemic started, I was like, how in the world I get fired on my day off? I feel like I'm in the Friday movie itself. And I just remember I looked at the email, and she's like, I thank you for your great work. And I'm sitting here like, okay, ma'am, thank you. Have a nice day. But I remember that because I told you that, Morgan. I texted you and I was like, look at this mess here.
I remember.
Okay, so I think it's your turn, Morgan.
Okay, let me see what question. Are some choices better than others? In other words, do you think there are right and wrong choices?
Honestly, I really think there are right and wrong choices, but I really think it depends on the person. Like, say if you make a wrong choice, you can make one bad decision, but sometimes it depends on your way of life. So say if you have a family that is more well-rounded in the community and have like, they're on a higher scale, then say if you did something wrong and they would still be able to support you because they have that financial background. But say if you're coming from somebody that doesn't really have nothing and you made that wrong step and they can't really help you out of that situation because they don't have that financial status that somebody else may come from. And I really think that relates back to if people, like our generation, most people wants to make it in life, but let's be honest here, money is the purpose in everything. And like, I know for me, I feel like I want to do this college thing and I'm going to do it. Ain't no doubt about it. I don't care if I got to get money out the ground. I'm going to go to college. So I think it really just depends on how people have their perspective. Like, say we can go to parties, do this and that, but like when it comes to our assignment, we're really on this online stuff. So like you really have to think about, okay, so am I going to go to this Halloween party to go turn up and then I have a paper due at midnight, and do I really think I'm going to get out of there by midnight and then that's your grade? So it's really like, and then also you have to think about the pandemic. What if you touch a cup that somebody has some germs on, and oh Lord, that's another situation. But yes, I really do. It's a right or wrong choices. But sometimes people may think every choice is right, and you can make mistakes. But I feel like the best thing about having life, when you're in life, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes, because every day you can make a mistake and learn from that. You'd be like, okay, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to try to grow from it. And just like for our parents, if they did something wrong in their past, you can see what they have done and where they're at in life. And you'd be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. That is a big red flag. Don't do that. Please don't. Or you will be in the same predicament.
That's a good answer.
Okay, so that brings it back to me. Regarding decisions as a college student, what made you choose your field of study? And what are your academic future goals?
So, as a college student, I knew what field of study I wanted to go into before I started going to Thomas Nelson. And it was actually for financial reasons that I chose to go to Thomas Nelson rather than straight to a university. Another big reason was because I didn't want to go straight to a university. I wanted to spend time at home for the first 2 years if I was able to, and the community college has allowed me to do that. What really made me choose my field of study was when I was younger, I was watching a show on one of those box TVs. I mean, it's old as everything. It's one of the TVs that you don't even see in houses anymore. They're mostly flat
the box
screen.
ones.
Yeah, mostly flat screen at this point. But it was a little box TV, and I was watching on Animal Planet a ASPCA TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just watching these veterinarians care for the animals, and I thought, I want to do that. I started doing more research on the field, and granted, I was 6 years old when I made that decision. So as I got older, I did more research on the field, and I started learning about all of the science and biology and chemistry type classes that I would have to do as well. And I really just fell in love with the classes that I would take in that major and the job that I would have afterwards. So I think it was that TV show that kind of started me on the roll for it.
But I think that's great that a TV show has an impact on your future. Well, I actually remember watching Animal Planet too, and I like animals too, but I don't know, Morgan. I think you got me on that one. I like animals. I don't know if I want to be with animals every single day. But I think you'll be perfect in that field, and I'm glad you did. I really can see you. I can see you with your little scrubs on. You coming in. You be like calling me, Iyanna, girl. Let me tell you about this dog, and she came in here. The leg was broken, and I wanted to cry. Like I really
fell off.
And I'd be like, oh girl, and I'm gonna be like, well girl, let me tell you about this court case. because yeah, you want to be a vet, and I know this whole journey at Thomas Nelson, me and you talked about your veterinarian, I talked about how I want to be a lawyer. So I feel like, honestly, I think it's great that we both have like a path for success, and then like we both have like different fields that we want to go into, but like both of our fields can actually like correspond with one another, because you want to go in that, but maybe one day I might have a situation where I might need to know about the veterinarians and different stuff that happen, because what if somebody come to me and be like, well, the vet made my dog more sick, or something like that. So I think that would be great for us to both have, and I hope to be your friend in the future. By then, you'll be really, really my best friend. So, yeah.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun in our future careers.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Okay, so I have a question for you about destiny. Do you believe in destiny?
Well, yes, I do believe in destiny, because I feel like it doesn't matter what age you are, you can control your future. Well, honestly, I feel like for the Z generation, we have a lot of technology and different outcomes to actually expand our horizon, to actually deepen our future, to actually take control of it. Like, I understand that some people may feel that their family has a big impact on what they want to do in their future, or could try to control it. But honestly, I feel like if you have that mindset that you want to make a change in your future, then just go ahead and do it and go. That's your dream. Just stick with it and go with it. So I feel like, and especially that goes with us in the Z generation, we actually need to use this opportunity to change our future with voting. So we actually need to have our fate and go out and vote and make a change and do that decision. So I really do believe in destiny.
I agree with you. I think destiny is real as well. And I actually think that it's a path that makes you the happiest in life.
Mm-hmm.
You find a lot of TV shows that talk about running from destiny or changing your destiny. I think when you find destiny, you're happy with it. You're happy as you've ever been.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I think the whole thing about thinking about your future, it's like having a better outcome at the whole horizon. It's like, okay, I might start from the bottom, but I'm gonna be here one day. I'm gonna be high above. Like, you're gonna just know that I did this. It doesn't matter who helped you to get there. You did this on your own, and this is what you choose. You can be an inspiration to anybody around you. You can be like, oh, wow, I knew that girl at school, and look what she become. So I really think that's great. That's a great question. I have another one for you. How do you feel about the idea of soulmates? Phony, real, or do you think you have a soulmate out there waiting to meet you?
I'm kind of on a middle ground with this one.
Okay.
I'm fairly unexperienced with dating, so I almost feel like I can't put in too much of an input to this question, but as far as how I feel with what I know so far, I don't think soulmates are real. I think they're phony. I mean, that's just my feeling on it. What I do think is real is the connection that you make with certain individuals. Because sometimes you can talk to somebody or you can meet somebody and you don't have to force a conversation. You look at them, you speak to them, you ask them questions, and something clicks. And I can't describe what that something is, but there's just something there that makes sense, and you're not uncomfortable, you're not awkward with that person. You're comfortable to be around them and talk about whatever comes to your mind at the time. So I don't think that soulmates are so much a real thing. I just think that there are certain types of people that you get along with really well, and from those people, those are the ones that you would get along with best if you chose to date them.
I definitely agree. It's almost like Romeo and Juliet, but they wasn't really soulmates. I feel like this whole part of having a soulmate is something I don't want to call it a stereotype, but it's really something that has been made up over the years, and everybody feel like they have to find that one. Or like, especially, I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's this pandemic or what, but I've seen a lot of young people that just wants to go out there and find their soulmate, like they about to fall off the earth. And me personally, I know for me and you, we think about education like that's our top goal. So like we don't feel like we have time for a relationship because everything around us, we just have time for the main goals. We know that we want to have a relationship, but that's like our goal down the road. We can fit that somewhere in there, but not right now. So I feel like that soulmate thing is really about just having that one person that you know you can go to and be your right hand and actually talk to you like each and every day and see how you're doing and seeing how you're progressing in life and support you. And I feel like sometimes when you have that one person right there, like if it's a male or female or whoever you prefer, I think it's just really about how they have that, that effect on you. Like, so, like, maybe for, like, somebody our age, they feel like if somebody's showing them all this attention or something, then that's the one right there, that's the one. And then for our perspective, we might be like, oh, no, girl, that's not the one, girl. Give him another month. He might mess up in a minute. So I think you did very well with that. I think it is kind of like phony because you never know. Like some people, they can be like 40, 45, 50 and they still haven't married yet because they're just haven't found that right one.
Right. I think what really broke the idea of soulmates for me, because I do think it's kind of a cute idea and it gives people hope, and we need more things like that. We do need things that give people hope and make them feel good. But I think what broke the idea of soulmates for me is the fact that there's so many people in the world that say they've met their soulmate and then they don't stay with that person and they break up or they marry that person because they really do think they're the one and they end up getting a divorce. So
them papers.
Yeah. So when people go out and they say that this is my soulmate and then they're not, it just makes me think that soulmates aren't really legit.
yeah, I definitely can see that. Like I said, when you see stuff happen in the world and you see like the different outcomes, it makes you think before you act. Especially on the soulmate situation, you really want to think about, okay, so am I going to have a soul? I mean, it's great to, don't get me wrong, it's great to have a soulmate, but you just don't know when you're going to get that soulmate. Because I really feel that it's someone out here for everyone. So like once you get that person, I wouldn't call it necessarily my soulmate. I'd be like, I guess my man or something. That's my man, or that's my right one, or my right hand right there. But I'm not really for sure right now because my mind is not on that soulmate level. But maybe when I get there, I'll be like, okay, that's my man, girl. So I definitely think you did a very good job asking that question. I'm answering that question.
I think I have a question to ask you now.
Okay, go with it.
It's, what is your favorite thing about being a college student?
I think my favorite thing for me as a college student is personally going to Thomas Nelson, I feel like it's a really a good foundation to start my future. So like, I think the whole perspective of me actually going to college just makes me happy. Like it doesn't like sound like a nerd or something, but like I really think that education is a scapegoat from not being a failure, but from making mistakes that you don't want to make in the future. So like if we see, like, you know how our economy with the middle class and everything, but certainly you can see that how the world has come today. We are basically growing off education and diplomas and different things like that. So I feel like me just stepping foot in a college and being able to go to a college just makes me happy. And don't get me wrong, this online mess is for the birds. But I know I'm just going to keep striving for success and I'm going to get through it. So I really think it just makes me happy that knowing I'm taking a step to better my future. And the people around me to know that I'm actually going to accomplish something in life. And and also for me, it makes me happy that I'm going to be a soon hope to be a inspiration to my siblings, because I want them to know, don't let anything get in the way of what you want to accomplish in life. You can do it. And don't think about the money or anything, because look, it's going to have, if it's meant for you to be, it's going to happen. So I really think that's what I think on coming to college. All right, so now I have another question for you. What is the one thing you really want to achieve in your life's journey?
Oof, that's a really, really tough question to answer. And it's mainly a tough question to answer because I feel like I've barely started my life's journey. Like, I feel like I'm about to turn 20 in December, and I am still in community college. I'm transferring to Virginia Tech in the fall of 2021, so I haven't even really gotten out of college yet. And the answer that I'm going to give you now, I know it's not going to be the same one that I'll give in 20, 30 years from now. Mm-hmm. But at this moment, I want to be remembered. I just don't want to be forgotten. And I realize that as far as society goes and people go, typically it's your 3, maybe 4 generations, your family will remember you. Mm-hmm. And then that far out, you don't hear about that person as often as you would. So I think I just want to do something that benefits society and that people in the future will benefit from as well, and to be remembered in a good way for a good thing and not for some of the bad things that people have been remembered for in the past.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. I definitely think you're going to have a beautiful life journey, and you're going to definitely get there because your determination and how you put yourself out there to do different things. And like with this podcast, you've never been on something like this before, so I think it's a great opportunity. You're actually wanting to actually leap out there to do different things to I guess add to your journey, your life's journey, because you're right, we are still like young, so like for us, it's actually weird to actually kind of know what you want to do in life, because the next day you could say you want to be a vet, and tomorrow you could say, well, I'm going to go into the police force, so something like that. So like, because I know many of my friends, they have goals they want to do in life, but it's not as like, how can I say, it's not as like straightforward as my goal or your goal. So like they're still like a little bird that's just like flapping their wings everywhere, and they're trying to touch here and touch there, but they still don't know what they want to do in life. So I feel like just for us taking that step, going to Thomas Nelson and knowing that we want to transfer and get our graduate degree and stuff like that, it's actually taking a big leap to get to our future goal in our career aspect. So I really think that's actually all it is to it. You just gotta make it or break it when it comes to your future.
Yeah, all in.
Also have this random question that just popped up in my head without any other things. But if you could have any power in the world, like if you was like a superhero or something, what would it be?
Oh, that's a difficult question to ask too, because it's not something I think about too often. I think it would be neat to actually have the power to heal. And the first thing that came to my mind was actually invisibility, but I think further down the road, I would want to help other people, and invisibility is really only something that would benefit me. I would want something that could benefit more people than myself.
Oh, well, I really think you did an awesome job with that power to heal. You know, when I got asked this question, I didn't think about the power of healing nobody. I thought about just stopping everybody around me and, like, you know, that pause button, mm-hmm. and just pausing the time so I could do more work and, like, just trying to, not to be selfish, but to benefit myself. Yep, I said it, benefit myself. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love people and helping people too, but I do remember on it was this show called, I don't remember, but it was some type of witch show, and they had this man, he would go around, like, for all the witches, he could heal them if they got hurt or something. Mm-hmm. So I really do like the aspect of healing and just helping people, because that would be great to use, especially in the world today with this pandemic. You can just go around touching people. You're cured from the COVID-19. You are done. No more COVID. Yeah, so.
People were kidnapped, you know. You ever seen the movie Power on Netflix? They kidnapped the person who had the power to heal and took them and like made them their slave.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't watch that, but I will have to watch Power. But anyways, Morgan, do you have any questions for me?
Not that I can really think of at the moment.
Okay, no problem. I think you did a wonderful job today, and I would like to close this segment by saying I would like to thank everyone for tuning in, and I would like to gladly thank you, Morgan, for coming today, and I would love to have you back again. So everyone, I will see you next time on Iyanna From The Block.